Uncle Ted, your ice cream alchemist with ice cream every day, and this is red wine dark chocolate. Now, it started off with a video I had seen on TikTok from Katherine Wants, and he had made her some hot cocoa with red wine, and I thought, you know what, that would be a marvelous ice cream. So what I did is I set out to do that. Now, it starts off with some cabernet sauvignon. I use a whole bottle, and I'm going to cook this down and reduce it down to a quarter of a cup. So it's going to take some time and some patience. You know, one thing about reducing red wine is you don't want to do it too high. You don't want to scorch it. Trust me when I say this, scorched red wine smells and tastes horrible. So you kind of have to be patient a little bit. Don't have it too high, but you want to pay attention to it. Keep whisking it. Make sure nothing sticks in the bottom, and your patience will be rewarded. Now, as for the rest of the ingredients, it's the usual suspects: 2 cups of heavy cream. Now, this time I'm going to use a half cup of whole milk, and I'm also going to use just a half a cup of sugar along with a quarter of a cup of honey. But the rest is the same. I'm using half cup of the dry dairy as well as 1/8 of a teaspoon of guar gum, and that's basically it. So once I get that red wine reduced down to about a quarter of a cup, that's when I'm going to go ahead and add my heavy cream and dairy and whisk that in real well. I gotta say, this is going to be a very thick base at first. It's going to start off very thick, so you're going to be patient. You're going to do a lot of whisking to make sure you get everything properly incorporated. Now remember, as I've always said, with the dry ingredients, you want to add that in batches, because if you don't, it's going to clump up and make a horrible mess. So you want to do it slow, take your time with it, and do it bit by bit. Now, the video I got the idea from, the premise is it's this stunningly beautiful woman who tells her chef husband, you know what, I'm in the mood for this, why don't you make it for me? And he does, and it's great, and then she has it and she's happy. But you know, this idea that I had originally, it was just hot cocoa, and I thought, you know what, I can do something with that. Now, one of the things that I did when I added the dark and light cocoa, and by the way, I used half a cup of regular cocoa and then quarter of a cup of the dark cocoa. And when I added that, I made sure to sift that because I wanted to make sure to get all the little clumps out, because you really don't want clumps with this, so you want to take your time, sift it, and add it in batches like you do with the regular dry ingredients. I had even thought about maybe using some milk chocolate, but I didn't have any, and honestly, I just wanted to see how this would go with the straight powdered cocoa. And it worked out pretty well. And you know, if I were to do this again, maybe I would dice up some milk chocolate and put it in there, just maybe try and round out the flavor profile a little bit. But really, that's it. You know, once you've got everything properly incorporated, that's it. Put it in a bowl, cover it with plastic, put it in the fridge overnight, and then the next day just go ahead and put it in your ice cream maker according to the manufacturer's instructions. And you know, I gotta say, I was really happy with how it turned out. I wish I had a beautiful woman with me to give ice cream to. Unfortunately, it's just me, but maybe one day I'll have someone incredibly beautiful to ask me for ice cream. But until that day comes, I'll make it for you guys. But you know what? If you're not eating ice cream for breakfast, what's the point of being an adult? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And, you know, you have a happy holiday.